Yo, what's up? Um, Sorry if the shit is dark and I'm dark, so hopefully this all works out. But I did try to set up some light. You can kind of see it in the mirror there. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about Ayurveda. So I've been following Ayurveda ever since I've been doing the liver flush because, for one thing, it was subscribed, prescribed by, in some ways, by Andres Moritz. And not that like I'm a Andre Moritz fanatic, but I do follow his flesh, and I do find Ayurveda to be extremely valuable. And the reason why I initially found it extremely valuable because it is so comprehensive in terms of um, like following as a blueprint to follow like a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, Ayurveda, if you don't know, is like a 6,000-year-old, um, obviously ancient practice of, I mean, you could say healing, of medicine, of health, and it's extremely complex. Like I mean, you could get a doctorate in Ayurveda. So to explain all the concepts and principles and things like that, like you should do your own research on it. But some of the basic elements are that there are three types of doshas, um, and so the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and those all represent earthly elements, and those doshas are found in all those doshas are found in every person. However, um, some of them are represented in people. Some several of those doshas may be represented in a person more than the others. So you might be strong in one, or strong in two, or strong in three, and depending on your particular doshas, these will affect your relationship. I mean, you could say your relationship with the whole entire planet. It will dictate how you meditate, what you eat, like when you sleep, just everything. So um, it could be extremely valuable, perhaps like in the same way that people um, find horoscopes or something like that. Their signs. It could be extremely valuable in that way um, in terms of, I guess, your psyche, but also your physiology, your biology, um, all kinds of things. Like it's very it it explains a lot, and what I found is that it did, explain a lot, because for a long time I had very poor digestion, um, very poor digestion, elimination, and I feel like I was making the wrong choices in terms of what I was ingesting. And so, knowing Ayurveda, I'm able to make better decisions about what foods I eat, and how I approach you know, what foods I eat and like how I approach my day. Um, it's changed everything, and I feel like it's changed everything for the better. Um, there's really so much to go into, and I'm just doing this off the top of my dome. So I don't have like a clear map of what I want to do, but just for example, like the time that you wake up, waking up before, for example, it says like, you should wake up before the sun, and then it has recommendations in terms of like what you might do in terms of your daily routines, like in terms of showering and just like showering and like using oils and what kind of yoga you might do and what kind of pranayamas you might do and what kind of um, just um, like when you if you eat, like what you eat for breakfast, if anything, what time like you have lunch, like what do you do between breakfast and lunch, what do you do between breakfast and dinner, and so it's very, like I said, it's very uh, comprehensive. So for myself, I've determined that I'm Vata Pitta. So Vata is like earth and ether, and Pitta is like fire and like fire and earth or something like that. It's fire for sure. So like, um, just think of air and what that means, and like, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to balance that out. So if I'm air, I want to do things that ground me, and like I'm already cold, so I want to do things that heat me up. But at the same time, I'm pitta, so I had to pay attention to that when I'm feeling more pitta, or like when the season might dictate that I'll be more pitta. Therefore, like I want to eat foods that are cooling uh, and not heating. Otherwise, if you don't, then your dosha could be aggravated, and that could lead to all kinds of health related issues, and just basically you being like out of order and not being able to function at your maximum. So this video could become extremely long, but I just wanted to um, introduce you, like on this channel, introduce you to the idea of Ayurveda and let you guys know that that's something that I've been following and I found extremely helpful, and I think that making hairdressers, like, I feel like you should definitely research it and check it out because it might be extremely helpful. Um, and I kind of mentioned some of the benefits. I mean, but there are drawbacks. Like, I mean, the drawbacks are like you had to be extremely disciplined. Because you are following you are following a routine, and like, so that's like on a high scale. On a low scale, like I don't find that it doesn't explain like some things very well, like when you eat fruit, or because like with Ayurveda, like you're supposed to have several meals, and then they're like not supposed to like eat between meals, and but then like but you don't necessarily have fruit with those meals, so it's like when do you even eat fruit? So hold on a sec. Sorry, we need to get naked on camera, but it's getting hot in here. So yeah, it doesn't explain things very well. So you really have to I don't know, intuit like what what you think the best method is, but I think it is valuable in terms of it gives you. Here's why I like Ayurveda the most, because it gives you all the rules like of a healthy lifestyle, like all together, like in one place. Like if you were to research Ayurveda, like you could type Ayurveda in like anything, and they'll have like a method, you know. So um, it gives you all the rules, but then I think that's what's great is like you have all the rules, but then like so you know when you're breaking them. Does that make sense? You want to know all the rules. Like if you're doing anything, you want to know all the laws, all the rules, and then if you're breaking them, you know, and then you know like what your next move is to counter that. So like if I had to like eat out somewhere and they had, I don't know, something I shouldn't be eating, like I just like I know, I mean maybe I know what I do for my next meal or something like that. You know, or like if I go lighter and what that looks like. So um, and then in connection with the liver flesh, uh, if you're following Ayurveda to a T, then it makes you less, in my opinion, it makes you less susceptible to gallstones. And I think that's true. When you're following Ayurveda, you're less susceptible to gallstones. And so, as I've been doing, these liver flushes, um, I am less susceptible to gallstones. You know, accumulating more gallstones because I am following Ayurveda. So it's a good complement to liver flushing. So um, I'm recommending, I can because I've been following for almost a year, so I can recommend Ayurveda, and I can recommend liver flushing, and I can say that like doing them together is like the most optimal way um, to get the best results really from both, because um, if your because if your liver is congested, then you I mean you'll have trouble following Ayurveda because your dosha is not going to be fully represented. Um, it's going to be hard to tell like what you are and whether the foods like you should be eating do pacify your dosha or not, if that makes sense. Like you're not yourself if your solar chakra, your stomach, your liver is essentially blocked, and on the other side, like you you can't um, you can't like liver flesh if you're just at the same time working against the liver flesh at the same time. So anyways, just want to make this video about Ayurveda. I feel like maybe there might be another one because this is just like a good start. But Yeah, so that's about Ayurveda and liver flushing. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And or if you like this video, like it. All right, peace.